How you been?
How'd you guys enjoy the game?
Oh, just get straight on into it. No
Screw
jokes,
it,
nothing.
dude. Let's go it. Let's do it.
F it.
A lot closer than I thought.
It was better than I thought it was gonna be.
It was a good
For
game.
sure.
I enjoyed it.
That's what we were talking about. We were talking about how it looked like it was gonna be a blowout up until Odell's injury.
Yeah, the momentum swing.
Yeah. Because at one point it was 13-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looked like they were gonna go up 14-3, and then the missed PAT,
Right.
which with the holder dropped, and then
I was getting Tony Romo flashbacks. Not gonna lie.
yeah. And then and then the Bengals drive down the field. Mixon throws the touchdown pass.
Mixon.
The halfback pass.
The halfback pass. They developed the run pretty well in that
They
drive, and I feel like they got away from it really soon. And then that's when the Odell injury happened, and then that what's led into halftime. That was insane, man. It was a good game. I enjoyed it.
Odell injury. Odell injury, and then the very next play is an interception.
Oh, that's right.
Van Jefferson in the corner of the end zone.
Jesse Bates in the end zone. Huh?
Yeah.
Who Jesse Bates? Interesting. He was one of their best players like 2 years ago, and then this past year. Remember we were talking about earlier? We're like we can't name any stars on that defense. I completely forgot about him. He was actually a really good safety.
I think he was a Pro Bowler last year.
Yeah, or the year before,
Yeah.
and then this past year he just just had a bad year. I think just overall, but
Well, yeah, when you go like 4-12, no one's really doing well.
That wasn't the best throw, but it wasn't terrible. Jefferson didn't really make any play on the ball.
he took a shot. Bradford.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Stafford.
Stafford. I keep
Damn.
saying Bradford.
Damn.
Stafford.
Sam,
Sorry.
Bradford. Put respect on his name. He beat Jimmy G.
The guy-
You learned this man's name.
The guy who's sipping on
Don
Julio
Julio?
1942. Did you guys see the photographer that fell?
Yeah, I just
No.
seen it right now.
I
I just seen it.
didn't see it, but I heard Stafford laughed, and then he got like.
Well, yeah, he
under
kind of
fire
just he
for
goes,
it.
"Oh shit," and then just walks away.
Well,
And
she
then-
fell like off a 10-foot stage. Like,
Yeah, like what is he supposed to do? Save her?
like, is he
Well,
gonna jump down there too?
down
He's
there?
paying for hospital bills.
Yes,
Yeah, he is. And
Uh-huh.
then, like she fractured her spine or something like that, or
Her
injured her
spinal
spine.
cord?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Brutal.
But yeah, he took a lot of heat for it, which I felt like was
Ooh,
unfair.
yeah, like you said, what are you supposed to do? You're like, oh, you're gonna jump down 10 feet.
Exactly. Just attend to her right away. Hey, the dude just won a Super Bowl, man, after a 12-year career.
Probably very intoxicated.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's
Probably at
like
that
he was
point.
drinking a bottle of wine. He probably should have stepped away from that.
Dude, he's got a speech with a bottle of Don Julio 1942 in his hand.
Which I thought that was dope.
Not
Yeah.
holding the Lombardi trophy, holding
The
Don Julio.
1942.
Probably would have dropped
sipping
the
it out of the
trophy,
bottle.
that's why.
Probably. Like Tom throwing it across what the river in
I
Tampa
still
Bay.
cringe when that happened. I'm like, what if I think about like, what if that trophy just had gone into
the water?
into the water?
Nah, they would have fished it out. Come
Yeah,
on,
they
dude.
would have, but
Tom's
it
like,
would have been
whatever.
hilarious.
I've
Yeah.
held it 6 other times.
Yeah, I got it 6
Yeah.
other times.
He's like, these
I
don't
remember
mean anything to me.
the
I use them as paperweights.
the
Bookends.
family, the family of the guy that made the trophy. I remember when they did this. This is disrespectful to my
Oh,
dad's
that's right,
artwork.
yeah.
Everyone's like, chill out. Tom's got like 6 of those.
It
It should
ain't-
be named after him.
It ain't that. Even in like all sports, it's not like the coolest trophy out there. It's a football on top of a like podium. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's true. It's not very creative.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
better trophies out there than the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, like the World Cup trophy is pretty
Yeah.
dope.
World Cup trophy,
Because
sick.
it's actually what, gold?
It's actual gold,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there's only one. Remember, like they pass it between like the countries that win and stuff.
The Stanley Cup's probably one of my favorites.
That was
It's-
pretty cool.
It's the same
I like that
trophy
one.
everywhere. It's like fucking like this big. It's
Yeah.
heavy as hell. Hand engraved every team's
Mm-hmm.
name on there.
The national championship trophy is pretty dope too.
Isn't it just
The
a crystal
CFP
ball?
one?
Yeah, I think that's tight. Or you guys don't think so?
I think
It's
it was
okay.
alright. I like the World Series trophy. All
Yeah.
32 flags. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Well, when the commissioner just called it a piece of metal, I kind of lost respect for it too. It's just a bunch of little little flagpoles.
Yeah, little waving flags on it.
But yeah, anyways, Super Bowl 56. Rams pull it off 26-20 or 23-20. We all kind of expected it, right?
Yeah.
I was rooting for the Bengals at one point. Like it was just an interesting game. Like we said, it looked like it was going to be a blowout up until that Odell injury. And then I kind of caught myself, especially coming out in the second half, I kind of caught myself rooting for the Bengals a little bit because it almost looked like they were going to pull it off, right? Where they come back and then they have the big play right away, right, to T. Higgins, the miss offensive pass interference call, if you want to call it.
Good.
Yeah.
You said it.
I think we all agree.
Because there's people crying and still arguing that, they didn't call anything till the end of the game. Yeah, it's a makeup call because they didn't call that.
It's a makeup call. It's a big time makeup call.
They missed that call. But it's easy for us to be like, oh, yeah, they missed it because we watched it all in slow motion.
Yeah.
But if you watch it in real time.
The line judge is not in any position to make that call.
Because
the call had to come from the opposite end of the
field. If you
field.
see it in real time, it's like it's a quick tug.
Yeah.
It's like you don't see it. And then like you said, the line judge is like behind him.
He's behind the play.
He's blocked from the receiver.
He can't see
all he
it.
could see is the receiver's back.
It's just the receiver's back, exactly. And then Ramsey fell, but it happened just so quick. There's human error when it comes to calls like that. Yeah, and it's just had they stuck with the rule, like if pass interference call being reviewable.
Someone at the Super Bowl at my uncle's asked, like, can't they challenge that? And I was just like, no, they took that out because could you imagine all the time that would be wasted even more on top of like all the turnovers?
Right. That's true.
Because it was getting out of hand, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll get into the calls a little bit later. But yeah, and then the interception right away. I think that was huge when the Bengals weren't able to capitalize off of it when they just got the field goal.
I thought
off the interception.
I thought like if you're gonna go win this game, I was like, if the Bengals want to win this game, you're gonna score a touchdown right here.
Yeah.
But they left the door just enough to.
Yeah, dude. What did you guys think was the Bengals' biggest downfall?
The offensive line.
Yeah, for sure. We can all agree with that, right?
After they went up, like when they took the T. Higgins touchdown and then they got that field goal and then
they couldn't develop a run game.
They couldn't get anything. They got away from, like you said, they got away from it.
They got away from the run game. But the Rams made a pretty interesting adjustment when they started aligning 3 defensive linemen onto one side of the line and forcing Aaron Donald to go one-on-one, which paid off big time at the end of the game. He was just
getting that straight rush, the straight bull rush.
And that's what led to the field goal, right? After the interception was Aaron Donald getting a sack.
Yep.
Right?
First sack of the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, first sack of his first sack of the game.
Well, I guess technically not. I guess the one where he shoves him out of bounds.
That's right. That was the second sack of the game
because that was behind the line.
It was behind the line of scrimmage. That's right. But for sure, we could all agree that the offensive line for the Bengals was
they got outplayed in the fourth, especially in the fourth quarter. I mean,
for sure, big time.
It just felt like they got real conservative, like with their play calling. Like I was telling one of my buddies, I was like, they were taking shots on like that play right out of halftime. They were taking shots on early downs, like first, second down, and they were getting Jamar the ball, they were getting T. Higgins the ball, and then like when it was crunch time, when they were up, they're just like they just started regressing, like they just started being conservative with all their play calls.
They started playing passive.
Yeah, and it was just like you literally took the lead because you were taking shots.
You were aggressive.
And then now, like, that you have the lead, you're just, like, playing, you know.
And Jamar Chase, when he beat Ramsey in that first big play.
Ramsey got beat all night, basically.
Yeah, he had him on his skates, dude. And then even that the very last play, if you go back to it, Jamar Chase he was open.
He clipped his foot, though.
But, I mean, that's getting open, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey, he played... he didn't play his normal game. Like, he was off. He was probably big time.
My most disappointing moment.
If the Bengals would have won, Ramsey would have been the one that was
taking a lot of.
Yeah, he would have been the one getting mean with burnt toast and all that.
Toast, not Eli Apple.
Not Eli Apple.
letting Cooper. Well, we were talking about that too. How Eli Apple gave that up, but they were also talking about how they had never ran a fade to Cooper. So Eli Apple's probably just assuming, he's gonna try to run inside. Yeah, so he lined up way inside.
It wasn't even that great of a throw though. Like it was like a 3-yard fade.
Well, it was a back shoulder.
It was just Eli was just.
But it wasn't even really a back shoulder. Like if Eli would have just turned his head, like
it was over the top. But Eli, if you look at the alignment, he's way off, like right away.
Yeah, and then the setup they did the slow mo where Coop set him up, like he was like stacked, like he was like head up on him. Mm-hmm. And then Cooper's movement off the line kind of like shoved him just enough inside to give him that space.
Well, they talk about attack when you're running routes and as a receiver, it's attacking the DB. So it's like you're running right at him and then just creating space that way.
It was weird because he took like this little like a false step backwards.
Yeah.
And kind of like it made it look like he was gonna go
He was
inside.
gonna go
and
inside.
then boom.
Yeah.
So it was nasty. I was like, oh man.
It was And then for them never to be able to practice that too, and then just run it right off the gate
For the win.
That was awesome, because that's normally what we're talking about. There was normally a play that they throw to Odell, right?
True.
Mm-hmm.
You seen it on the first touchdown when he
That was the first touchdown
when he ran the
fade.
wheel route. Yeah.
Yeah, because he lined up inside. Was it against Eli Apple?
No,
I don't remember.
he was on. Mike Hilton was on.
Mike Hilton. That's right.
Because I thought it was Eli Apple immediately, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, it's Mike Hilton.
Yeah. But yeah, that Odell injury, it affected the game.
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
changed it.
Big time.
Yeah, because then the Rams couldn't run the ball at all during the game.
Well, they couldn't run the ball from the get-go.
Yeah.
And once they took out Odell, it was like, you got Cooper Kupp, and that's it.
That was it.
You ain't got nothing else going for you.
And they knew it.
No Higbee.
Yeah,
He was So he was out.
Van Jefferson had like 1 or 2 catches.
I think he had a couple of catches. Yeah, but yeah, it went all Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, and that the Bengals knew that, so they doubled them up.
Right. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about that earlier. Was like this game was kind of poetic the way it kind of played out. Like I don't think you could have scripted it any better. With just like there's the back and forth, the injuries to both quarterbacks.
Yeah,
and seeing them get rolled up. That was when seeing Joe Burrow scream. That scared me.
I thought it was torn ACL.
Shu texted us. He's like, "You think Burrow goes back in?" I was like, "Why wouldn't he?" Because I saw on TV that he
was
the
sushing
trainers
everybody away.
Yeah, he was like, "No, get away from me."
He was cool. He was cool.
He wasn't taking medical attention.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm good."
Because he walked off on his own.
Yeah.
Well, he limped off, I guess, on his own. Because
that's why I answered your shoe. I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like,
what?
He's like his knee injury, but I had thought like everyone had seen that he waved everyone off.
Right.
So I was like,
Shoe don't pay attention to that. Come on now. That's too much work. That's too much work. But then again, I mean, Shoe was panicking because he doesn't want to see Ramsey win a Super Bowl. Because
he's a Jags fan.
Jags fan. He don't want to see.
I was gonna say the only Jags fan, but there's a Jags fan in the corner of that end zone in the game. If you guys noticed, he was wearing a Trevor Lawrence jersey.
I noticed the guy waving the Colorado flag.
Yeah.